Welcome back to the BlueNote Fan Report. This is your second intermission show. Aloha and mahalo. I am Guy to the Wire Blues fan, your host for Blues Intermission. Well, much better period than the first. 2 goals, won by Mr. Ta-ra-sen-SHOW. And then he sets up Mr. Thomas. That's right. 2 goals by Thomas, 1 on the power, or by the Blues. Tarasenko gets 1 on the power play. Thomas gets a good setup. Blues did really well in this period overall. Giving up the 1 goal, though, kind of, I don't know. A lot going on here. Much better neutral zone play. I've been watching the neutral zone pretty heavily. I think the Blues have been much better on that. Matt Lowe called the Thomas goal. Tad Dieterman, better period and more quality shots. I agree with that. Kevin T says the game should be 6-2. I'm kind of with you there, Kevin. I don't think it should be 6-2, but I think it should be 4 or 5-2. To be honest with you, let's welcome back Mr. Up, and then my mouse goes out. Mr. Okay, what's going on here? Now my mouse has gone out on me, so give me a moment here, guys. Let me figure out what's going on with my mouse. There we go, Mr. Chris Lambert. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, doing good.
So, what did you think of that?
Huh?
What did you think about that period?
I believe we did. I think we did fairly okay on that power play, and we got our first 5-on-3.
Yeah, but that was for 9 seconds. I mean, 9 second 5-on-3 is nothing. The fact we got a shot off on that was kind of actually we got 2 shots off, but the second one didn't count because the guy, the penalty the penalty had expired.
And plus, I wasn't. I was pretty pleased with the power play. I don't think we did too bad on that power play. We had a few good quality shots inserted in there too, and we got physical around the net and tried scoring.
Not sure what you're talking about there. Did you have a Trevor Zegras jersey up?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, bud. Joshua thinks we have says we have. You know what? I will give you that we have defensive lapses, but I don't think it's a defensive problem. It's going to happen in every single game. That's to be honest with you, right? And let me go with this. I want to bring this out right here, right now. Now we got Joshua saying this. Had Bennington given up that goal, everybody would have said there, oh no, Bennington gave up that goal. It's all on him. Bennington's so bad. It wasn't on him. It was a 1v1. You got to stop that. If you don't, you don't. Right? It happens every single game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a defensive problem. It doesn't mean that it's but you see 1v1s on both sides. It happens all the time. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time on both sides, Josh. Right? But you're saying it's the defense. You're saying it's the defense. You're not blaming Husso for giving up that goal. He needs to stop that goal. Right? In my eyes, he needs to stop that goal. 55 is not great. 55 has had an awful season.
He's been playing good the last couple of games for him, though.
Yeah, but he's still like minus 20 something. Right? He's having just a crappy game. Ryan Green says, now we're winning. Let's put this game away. I agree. We've got to do with that. We've got to put the game away. And hey, guys.
Yeah, definitely. We need to put this game to bed in the third period.
Yeah.
And plus, it's only a 1-goal game. We need to keep the gas going.
Okay. Let me, Josh, I want you to. I may disagree with you. It doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. I just disagree with you. I think that there are other things that are more glaring than saying defense because a 1v1 got had, right? How much of that 1v1 was because of misplaying the neutral zone? Actually, he's in trouble. Right? Is that like a clue now that you want to talk?
No, I'm just playing with this.
With what?
My daughter got some kind of a ring light, and I'm playing with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like the lights are going off, and you're saying, "I want to talk. I want to talk. I want to talk."
No.
Right.
That's I was to say, it kind of threw me off guard too. I was like, "Where's that light coming from?"
Pro teams break the other teams down. That's why they are pro teams. I agree with that, Bob. I absolutely agree with that. Huso can let a soft one in because he's not letting that be part of the game like Bennington has this season. Difference. I disagree with that.
I strongly disagree with that because if we're going to get Bennington on every little mistake he makes, we need to do the same for Huso.
What team does not allow a 1v1? Every team does every game. Yeah, it happens. Good. Oh, I love it. Somebody else got it. Not everyone will go deep in to figure out why or not truly care that they want to win. And you know what? That's a good point. Very few people want to go deep into it. They just want to see what's at the surface, and that's it. That's it. Stop taking dumb penalties and nullifying the power play. I didn't think that was a dumb penalty. It happens, but it's a habit, this 1v1 BS. Josh, I'll pay more attention to it, but I don't see it as an issue. I know you do, but I don't, so I'll pay more attention to it. I think that's fair. Got to remember when we go 3, it squeezes me in, and I'm sitting in a bad position. So I'm like I'm like over here. So I'm only half. You're only seeing half of me, trying to figure it out. I will look into it. And I think that's a fair enough statement. I love all my viewers. I know sometimes I come off as conceited or know-it-all or so many other words you can say. But that's happened. Unfortunately, when you watch as much hockey as I've watched and you look into it, you deep like that, you see things that others don't. And I think that's what Golf King was saying. Right? Right? Joshua says when you keep track, it's ridiculous. I'll try and keep a little bit more. And I think there's a way I can look up breakaway stats. Right? Perron always takes dumb penalties, acts like he knows he isn't staying. Because he's had issues with taking penalties long before he signed it this time. I'm not sure there. Right? Perron's Perron's just having a tough season, right? And that penalty there, that hook, I didn't see as much of a dumb penalty as just a stick getting away from you.
Yeah.
The dumb penalty was the
too many men.
That's a coach. Will you agree defense is our weakness?
Nope.
No, I won't. I don't, and referees need to open their eyes. I'm not too sure about that. Worst production year ever. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I will say that. Josh, the reason I say no, defense isn't our weakness is because I look at our goals against per game, and we're like 9th in the league. If defense was a weakness, we'd be 29th in the league. When your goals against is that good, your defense is doing something right.
I was going to say, our defense isn't that weak according to those statistics or whatever that you just laid out there then.
Right.
I mean, to put it short.
This is, again, Costin's third game. Not worried about our goalies. No, I'm not worried about our goalies. I think if something else gets cleaned up, something that's actually so much easier to work on, then you will see our goalies have much better games. Right? 91 shoulders, same thing. He is playing like a beast. Tarasenko's had a great game. That whole line, Barbashev, Tarasenko, and Barbashev, Tarasenko, Bushnevich, Thomas, Costin's had a good game. Sonny's had a good
your
game.
precious Bettsville line has been clicking.
Well, you know what? They put him on the power play, right? They put him on the power play, and I appreciate that, Josh. I really do. I appreciate that.
And that's definitely a good choice for that power play too, because because like you said before, that line doesn't need work, and I've seen it work for myself. So I can testify to that too.
Yeah, John Hefner says it seems we own their defensive end but can't finish. I don't say we can't finish. I say that they're clogging the middle a little bit. We got to kind of pull them away some to make that happen. I just look, guys. With no disrespect to anybody, with no disrespect to any guy that's played this game at a high level, no respect to any analysts out there, with no disrespect to anyone whatsoever, I continually see every single game we lose be a neutral zone issue, right? I mean, go back and pick any loss, and you'll see neutral zone breakdowns that caused other things. And it's the one thing that we could clean up, right? Clean up, and you would see all these other problems would disappear, right? And Josh brings a thing in. This is the thing Josh said. No, I don't think we need a D-man. I really don't. That's oh, Matt Lowe.
How you been, Ashley?
I'm all right, buddy.
Oh, no, I see what he's saying. Bennington left with 5 minutes left in the second. I didn't see that. But I will tell you what I did see. I saw a very dejected Bennington on the bench.
Yeah.
Every time that they you can see that his face, there is something to that now. I will say that. I did see that. Right, but him leaving see a lot of times, a lot of how those goalies sit, right? They're actually taking up room or space on the bench. So you will see times where that goalie will leave the bench area, and that's not as disrespectful as you think, right? It's not what you think. There was one of the teams has such a small bench area that the backup goalie's not even on the ice.
Oh, and also while I'm on here, Guy, for this second intermission, I got a question to ask you, and I want your opinion on this too, and yours too, Ashley. Back to that New Jersey Devils game, and I think it was like in the third period, we were all down by only 1, and Berube decides to pull Bennington. Why? It's only a 1-goal difference, and why?
Oh, no, that's why. You have the extra attacker on the ice, right? He just did it too soon, right? Instead of getting a really good, solid cycle set up, he pulled them, and really they didn't have the puck. They didn't have the puck. Jeff, you're going to please, guys, with the language. Right? Please do not look. I understand saying that you have issues with players, but do not use language like that.
Try to keep it clean, guys, and definitely, as Guy addressed last show or whatever, keep the politics off the air, please, because this is a sports show and it needs to be kept that way. With all said due respect.
And I thank you. Attempts 45 attempts for the Blues, 24 for them. Chances 13-6. See, we're doubling them up. Slot shots 12-5. That's where it's been. Slot. They have had a lot of slot. And that's actually been a new trend in the league. You're seeing that a lot in the league. Where look at the Winter Classic. They pulled it with 7 minutes to go. Right? They pulled it with 7 minutes to go. Right? You could have just said that Colton is soft. You didn't have to use a sexual term to bring that out that is demeaning to a lot of people, and that's where my issue is with that. And anybody who knows me knows I deal with something, and that's why I have an issue with that. Right? So that's where I am. I would make the show edgy, but it's Guy's show, and I respect his wishes. Look, the reason I don't do that, the reason I don't go off that way is because you know what? That just goes and says that, oh, great, that's all I want to do is curse and scream and holler and, and to get people to watch me. I want people to watch me for my knowledge, right? If you like my knowledge and you watch it for that, great. If you don't like my knowledge and don't watch it for that, that's great too.
And that's also
what I want you to watch it for.
On here too, because I want to share, my portion of the knowledge and what I know about the game and the Blues in general too.
And Wes brings up he may still have back issues, and that's quite possible. I think he's too nice. I think he's too nice to be the power defenseman, to be honest with you. I've seen that. Just want to squeak this one and get the 2 points. No, I agree that it shouldn't be this close. I agree that the Blues really in the first 7 or 8 minutes need to really lay out and control the game and control the neutral zone. I've talked about this before. Chris, do you play chess?
I did back when I was around maybe 4th or 5th grade, but it's been years since I played chess.
Do you when you play chess, what is the most important part of the board?
Basically the spots where you move it to, make sure you're moving it to the appropriate places and going to
No. What I mean is there's a part of the board that you need to control, right? And anybody that plays seriously will know this, right?
Oh, protecting your king and queen.
No. You're kind of missing. You want to control the Queen's Gambit, the King's Gambit, pawn sacrifice, any of those openings that you might do, right? The purpose of them is to protect the center 4 squares. The player that controls the center 4 squares controls the board, right?
Oh, okay. Like I said, it's been years.
Yeah. So I get it. I mean, not a lot of people understand this in the game. It's a master thing. If you control the center of the ice, you control the game. And we saw that against the Devils. The Devils controlled the center of the ice. They took it over in the third, they controlled it, and they went on from there. That is what I think.
They also did something too with a diamond formation.
Well, that the diamond that they played they played a collapsing diamond in the kill, and that served them well because they were able to force the puck away from center, right? Away from they kept the rebounds out, they kept ththings like that out. Ta-ra-sen-SHOW, man, I'm sorry, I think people don't give his defense enough credit and his stick control. He's really, he's had 2 or 3 pokeaways. I play a lot of Hold'em, actually, guys. I play a lot of Hold'em.
Guy, the game just came. Third period just came on.
So I'll see you guys all at the post game. This is Guy saying aloha mahalo. See you at the